Respected Tapasvi Gana, Sadhaka Gana, wonderful hearted human beings, co sadhakas, and students of this great Sanatana Dharma, Moksha Shastras, the Upanishads. Hearty welcome to you all with all greetings, gratitudes, salutations, and congratulations too for being on this path relentlessly. Great it is. Here we are to do our everyday seven abhyasas or practices or sadhanas. All of them are consciously, clearly to invoke the most necessary Rupa Anugraha of the Parabrahma Tattva to reveal Ishvara Tattva to make us qualified, Jagannatha Tattva to purify us, Devata Gana to strengthen us, the Guru Gana to continuously guide us, the Shastra Gana to keep on inspiring us. And also we know we have to day in and day out work relentlessly to improve upon our own personality of Lokasevaka Adi so that we are a fulfilled being everywhere, doing our best, contributing our best. Our seven activities include Veda Parayanam, common sense thought, Dhyana Purvaka, Mantrocharana, we have the Shanti Mantrocharana, the Sankalpa Mantra. That in that Sankalpa we just pray for us and for the Sanatana Dharma, for the entire universe of beings to be safe, secured, and spiritually evolving. Then we have the chanting of our Upanishad mantras to be familiar. Then our main activity of studying Upanishad with Bhashyam. Shwethashwathara Upanishad, 6th chapter. The utility of karma as karma yoga in spiritual evolution was explained to us couple of mantras back. Then how through bhakti upasana too we get closer to our spiritual essence. And of late we are seeing through jnana. Then the most interesting thing today is in the mantra 10 that the same Brahman who is our goal. To him only we are extending our prayers. You, O Lord, by your own choice and prakriti, as if you are covered and bound like the spider, it is you who is requested by us to reveal yourself to us, to reveal to us the Spashta Siddhanta Jnana and Anubhava, that you are me and I am you. That prayer, its avashyakata, how to pray, they are guided in this shloka and this topic. So we are towards the end of this beautiful Upanishad, just 23 mantras. So 10th mantra, may we as ever bring all our sincerity, attentiveness, Shraddha Bhakti to do all these seven activities and help ourselves. Friends, lucky we are today in our Chandogya Upanishad Veda Parayanam. In this Shashtodhyaya, we are into the Ashtama Khanda onwards, wherein the most famous Upadesha Mahavakya Tattvamasi is taught by the father Guru to the son disciple. That's the topic we are chanting. So we heard about Tattvamasi, we know it's in the Upanishad. Which Upanishad, which Veda, we don't know. Now we know. It's in from Upanishad Chandogya and from the Veda Samaveda. And now it's in the sixth chapter and it is in the eighth Khanda. We are fortunate to chant that one. May that Tattvamasi reveal to us the Aham Brahmasmi Anubhuti. स्टार्ट। ओम अथ वेदपारायणम् सामवेदीय छान्दोग्योपनिषद अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः अथ अष्टमः खण्डः। ओम ओम उद्दालको हारुणिः श्वेतकेतुं पुत्रमुवाच। ओम उद्दालको हारुणिः श्वेतकेतुं पुत्रमुवाच। स्वप्नान्तं मे सौम्य विजानीहीति स्वप्नान्तं मे सौम्य विजानीहीति यत्र एतत् पुरुषः स्वपिति नाम यत्रैतत् पुरुषः स्वपिति नाम सता सौम्य तदा संपन्नो भवति सता सौम्य तदा संपन्नो भवति स्वम् अपीतो भवति स्वम् अपीतो भवति तस्मात् एनगं स्वपितीत्याचक्षते तस्मात् एनगं स्वपितीत्याचक्षते स्वगं हि अपीतो भवति स्वगं हि अपीतो भवति स यथा शकुनिः सूत्रेण प्रबद्धो स यथा शकुनिः सूत्रेण प्रबद्धो दिशं दिशं पतित्वा अन्यत्र आयतनम् अलब्ध्वा अन्यत्र आयतनम् अलब्ध्वा बन्धनमेव उपश्रयत बन्धनमेवोपश्रयत एवमेव खलु सौम्य एवमेव खलु सौम्य तन्मनो दिशं दिशं पतित्वा तन्मनो दिशं दिशं पतित्वा अन्यत्र आयतनम् अलब्ध्वा अन्यत्र आयतनम् अलब्ध्वा प्राणमेवोपश्रयते प्राणमेवोपश्रयते प्राणबन्धनगं हि सौम्य मन इति प्राणबन्धनगं हि सौम्य मन इति अशनापिपासे सौम्य विजानीहीति अशनापिपासे सौम्य विजानी अशनापिपासे मे सौम्य विजानीहीति अशनापिपासे मे सौम्य विजानीहीति यत्रैतत् पुरुषो अशिशितति यत्रैतत् पुरुषो अशिशिषति नाम नाम आप एव तत् अशितं नयन्ते आप एव तदशितं नयन्ते तत् यथा गोनायो अश्वनायः पुरुषनाय इति तद्यथा गोनायो अश्वनायः पुरुषनाय इति एवं तद् अप आचक्षते अशनायेति एवं तदप आचक्षते अशनायेति तत्र एतत् शुङ्गम् उत्पतितगं सौम्य विजानीहि तत्रैतच्छुङ्गमुत्पतितगं सौम्य विजानीहि नेदम् अमूलं भविष्यतीति नेदममूलं भविष्यतीति तस्य क्व मूलगं स्यात् तस्य क्व मूलगं स्यात् अन्यत्र अन्नात् एवमेव खलु सौम्य अन्नेन शुङ्गेन एवमेव खलु सौम्य अन्नेन शुङ्गेन आपो मूलम् अन्विच्छात् आपो मूलम् अन्विच्छ अद्भिः सौम्य शुङ्गेन तेजो मूलम् अन्विच्छ अद्भिः सौम्य शुङ्गेन तेजो मूलमन्विच्छ तेजसा सौम्य शुङ्गेन सन्मूलमन्विच्छ तेजसा सौम्य शुङ्गेन सन्मूलमन्विच्छ सन्मूलाः सौम्य इमाः सर्वाः प्रजाः सन्मूलाः सौम्य इमाः सर्वाः प्रजाः सदायतनाः सत्प्रतिष्ठाः सदायतनाः सत्प्रतिष्ठाः अथ यत्रैतत् पुरुषः पिपासति नाम अथ यत्रैतत् पुरुषः पिपासति नाम तेज एव तत्पीतन्नयते तेज एव तत्पीतं नयते तत् यथा गोनायोऽश्वनाय पुरुषनाय इति तद्यथा गोनायोश्वनायः पुरुषनाय इति एवं तत्तेज आचष्टे एवं तत्तेज आचष्ट उदन्येते उदन्येते तत्र एतदेव शुङ्गम् उत्पतितगं सौम्य विजानीहि तत्रैतदेव शुङ्गमुत्पतितगं सौम्य विजानीहि नेदममूलं भविष्यतीति नेदममूलं भविष्यतीति तस्य क्व मूलगं स्यात् अन्यत्र अद्भ्यः तस्य क्व मूलगं स्यात् अन्यत्र अद्भ्यः अद्भिः सौम्य शुङ्गेन तेजो मूलम् अन्विच्छ अद्भिः सौम्य शुङ्गेन तेजो मूलमन्विच्छ तेजसा सौम्य शुङ्गेन सन्मूलमन्विच्छ तेजसा सौम्य शुङ्गेन तन्मूलमन्विच्छ सन्मूलाः सौम्य इमाः सर्वाः प्रजाः सन्मूलाः सौम्य इमाः सर्वाः प्रजाः सदायतनाः सत्प्रतिष्ठाः सदायतनाः सत्प्रतिष्ठाः यथा नु खलु सौम्य इमास्तिस्रो देवताः यथा नु खलु सौम्य इमास्तिस्रो देवताः पुरुषं प्राप्य त्रिवृत् एकैका भवति पुरुषं प्राप्य त्रिवृत् एकैका भवति तदुक्तं पुरस्ताद् एव भवति तदुक्तं पुरस्ताद् एव भवति अस्य सौम्य पुरुषस्य प्रयतो अस्य सौम्य पुरुषस्य प्रयतो वाङ् मनसि सम्पद्यते मनः प्राणे प्राणस्तेजसि प्राणस्तेजसि तेजः परस्यां देवतायां तेजः परस्यां देवतायां स य एषोणिमा स य एषोणिमा ऐतदात्म्यम् ऐतदात्म्यम् इदगं सर्वं तत्सत्यगं स आत्मा तत्त्वम् असि श्वेतकेतो तत्त्वम् असि श्वेतकेतो इति भूय एव मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति भूय एव मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति तथा सौम्येति होवाच तथा सौम्येति होवाच see very clearly explained but again he asks oh father tell me again Shwetaketu is the son Uddalaka is the father again one two first time told Tattvamasi Shwetaketo Tattvam Asi means that you are all that Brahma Lakshanas are told and it is said it is you. How to do that? How to know that? Only through the guidance of the Gurus. That Guru is telling the Shishya to be Brahman, not from the Vachya Lakshartha, but from the Lakshyartha, not Vachyartha, but from Lakshyartha. Luckily, in the evening, we are studying this text only. The one which is explaining this Tattvamasi Mahavakya, the Vakya Vritti Grantha. Then again in the next 7, 8 Anuvakas also or Khandas also, again and again Guru will explain and ultimately this is a sentence. Tat Satyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shweta Keto. This sentence is common. This is one enough today. Let us rechant it. Om Athaveda Parayinam Samavediya Chandogyo Vanishad Atha Shashtodhyaya Atha Ashtamaha Khandaha Om Uddalako Harunihi Shwetaketum Putramuvacha Swapnantam me Somya Vijanihi iti Yatraitat Purushah Swapiti Nama Sata Somya Tada Sampanno Bhavati Swam Apito Bhavati तस्मात् एनगम स्वपितीत्याचक्षते स्वगम हि अपीतो भवति देखो the same word will come in our Upanishad also है ना सनो दध्यात ब्रह्म आप्ययम षट् api iti shabda. Same. स यथा शकुनिः सूत्रेण प्रबद्धो दिशं दिशं पतित्वा अन्यत्र आयतनमलब्ध्वा बन्धनमेव उपाश्रयते एवमेव खलु सौम्य तन्मनो दिशं दिशं पतित्वा अन्यत्र आयतनम् अलब्ध्वा प्राणमेवोपश्रयते प्राणबन्धनगं हि सौम्य मन इति अशनापिपासे मे सौम्य विजानीहि इति यत्रैतत्पुरुषो शिशिषति नाम अप एव तत् अशितं नयन्ते तद्यथा गोनायोश्वनायः पुरुषनाय इति एवं तदप आचक्षते अशनायेति तत्र एतत् शुङ्गम् उत्पतितगं सौम्य विजानीहि न इदम् अमूलं भविष्यतीति तस्य क्व मूलकं स्यात् अन्यत्र अन्नात् एवमेव खलु सौम्य अन्नेन शुङ्गेन अपोमूलमन्विच्छ अद्भिः सौम्य शुङ्गेन तेजोमूलमन्विच्छ तेजसा सौम्य शुङ्गेन सन्मूलमन्विच्छ सन्मूलाः सौम्य इमाः सर्वाः प्रजाः सदायतनाः सत्प्रतिष्ठाः अथ यत्र एतत् पुरुषः पिपासति नाम तेज एव तत् पीतं नयते तद्यथा गोनायोश्वनायः पुरुषनाय इति एवं तत्तेज आशष्टे उदन्येति तत्र एतदेव शुङ्गम् उत्पतितगं सौम्य विजानीहि न इदम् अमूलं भविष्यतीति तस्य क्व मूलकं स्यात् अन्यत्रात् अद्भ्यः अद्भिः सौम्य शुङ्गेन तेजो मूलमन्विच्छ तेजसा सौम्य शुङ्गेन सन्मूलमन्विच्छ सन्मूलाः सौम्य इमाः सर्वाः प्रजाः सदायतनाः सत्प्रतिष्ठाः यथा नु खलु सौम्य इमास्तिस्रो देवताः पुरुषं प्राप्य त्रिवृत् त्रिवृत् एकैका भवति तदुक्तं पुरस्तात् एव भवति अस्य सौम्य पुरुषस्य प्रयतो वाङ्मनसि सम्पद्यते मनः प्राणे प्राणस्तेजसि तेजः परस्यां देवतायाम् स य एषोऽणिमा ऐतदात्म्यम् इदगं सर्वं तत्सत्यगं स आत्मा तत्त्वमसि श्वेतकेतो इति भूय एव मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु इति तथा सौम्येति होवाच. In that way, so many times he will tell. One we saw, two, three, four, five, six. Then 7, 8, 9. 9 times it will be told. Let us see the Navamakhanda tomorrow. Friends, in our today's common sense thought, very simple thing that our life is Krishna Vasudeva. Made up of these 6 things in these 3 places. That's all. The outer, the inner, and the spiritual. These are the 3 places only our life is. In each of these places, these are the 6 things. The outer may be, the inner may be, the spiritual may be. What are the 6 things is? First is ignorance. Second is mistakes. Third is suffering. Fourth is understanding. Fifth is rectification. Sixth is freed from that suffering and being happy. Throughout life, a human being, intelligent, conscious, has to go through all this. To begin with, all of us are ignorant only. So when we are ignorant, we just commit mistakes outside. When we commit mistakes outside, मिठाई थोड़ी मिलेगा. We get the sufferings only, dukkha. Then those dukkhas when we go through and try to find solution for it here and there, somehow from somewhere the understanding comes to us that this is where the mistakes are happening, this is what not to be done, etc. Once the understanding comes, the mistakes are rectified. When the rectification happens, then there is no misery or problem or suffering. One is fulfilled. Therefore, a wise person is he who goes on gaining at the very outset, in the beginning only the wisdom. Once the fourth point is already there with us, the wisdom, then no need of rectification there, but instead of that, acting according to that wisdom. Then straight away that miseryless happiness comes. Somehow, for whatever reason, we are not aiming at that knowledge or wisdom or understanding, then we just out of ignorance keep on committing mistakes and keep on suffering outside. Basically, outside is how to react to the situations outside or to the objects when we see them, or even mainly the people. Isn't it? If you don't know ignorance, how to deal with the people around, in whichever the relation they are, definitely we commit mistake in our behavior with them. But when the mistakes are done, definitely the sufferings will come to us. That person themselves react, they leave us and go, and they may take revenge, etc. Or the totality will give us punishment. When we act under the influence of ignorance negatively, it definitely gives us the result of dukkha, misery. See the world of people. And it is anything. One example of being with people, we said. It can be while driving the vehicle. Little ignorance, about even for a moment only, that ignorance is the ignorance of moving the steering or applying the brake or not applying. Mistake is done, accident committed, then we suffer. Out of that suffering, if we are intelligent, we gain the knowledge or wisdom. That is important. But knowledge, wisdom never helped anyone unless one rectified one's outer behavior as per the newly gained knowledge. है ना, ज्ञान पाना भी पड़ता है उसके अनुसार. So I'm working with this boss in this company. So out of ignorance, either I was irregular or insincere in doing the work, or disobedient to him, or has not recognized his supremacy. These are all the ignorances. So I commit the respective mistakes there. Then the suffering is we are scolded by that boss, or even we may be removed to suffering now. From that suffering, we learn okay, wherever we are working as subordinates, we have to understand boss's supremacy. Isn't it? In this world of this type of boss and subordinate relation, there are only 2 points throughout life. Point one, boss is always correct. Point two, wherever there is doubt or problem, refer to the point one. That is, boss is always correct. That's it. That's it. You have to be. The only way to what do you call fight with boss and win over him is when you become boss, super boss than him. Then you are correct. That is how the world is. We have to learn like this. Start your own system or leave the system. Being in that system, you try to dominate, then the powers will suppress you. The supreme powers, whichever they are. Here we talked about boss and subordinate. Same at home, husband, wife, husband, jo bhi hai. So we have done out of ignorance that mistake. Because of the mistake, we suffered. Suffering was so painful that it taught us the lesson. That lesson learned should be applied next time while doing the work. The rectification should happen. Once it is done, then that suffering won't repeat. It is about our taken food also, out of ignorance, this wrong food we took. That's the mistake done. Suffering. But see, in with regard to the food, though, Prabhu ki aisi kripa hai कि he made and gave us such a sharira adi. Only some very rare things like poison, etc., or other things when we consume, we die. Otherwise, how many varieties of food do we eat? पता नहीं इन सब का कैसे अंदर जाकर हजम हो रहा है या वो बॉडी इसको बर्दाश्त कर पा रहा है ना. इमेजिन if there is a rule that only this much temperature or heat hot thing only taken, then the body will digest. फिर थोड़ा ज्यादा गर्म है ठंड भी है तो डाइजेस्ट होगा ही नहीं. और ओनली दिस मच क्वांटिटी यू ईट आई विल डाइजेस्ट. इवन 2 ग्राम भी ज्यादा है मानो, then that day I'll do strike. If the body says so, or only these ingredients should be there, how difficult it would have been. इम्पॉसिबल नो. मेरे को कभी कभी थॉट आता है कि हम कहाँ कहाँ जाते हैं, किस किस गांव में घूमते हैं, कहाँ क्या चीजें वो लोग खिलाते हैं, एंड येट दिस फेलो इनसाइड इज एक्सेप्टिंग ऑल दैट. ग्रेट नो. भगवान का कृपा. कैन एनी साइंटिस्ट मेक सच टाइप ऑफ शरीर? प्रभु की कृपा है. नमक कम है ज्यादा है, मिर्च कम है ज्यादा है, मसाले कम है ज्यादा है, तेल जो भी डाला, except when it goes beyond limits. Otherwise, it is taking and then it is receiving the medicine if something goes wrong and again rectifying itself. Prabhu ki kripa. Anyway, this is not our topic. The topic is ignorance, the outside mistakes we do. Then we suffer, then we are expected to have wisdom. We rectify ourselves according to newly gained wisdom, then we don't suffer. हजारों एग्जाम्पल दे लो in the outer world. The whole life is of this only. Human being is given intellect and simple thing is what in human being's life इतना ही है. बातों से नहीं मानता तो उसको लात मिलता है. उसको फिर मानना या जानना पड़ेगा ही. That's it. If someone doesn't learn by the simple words of wisdom, then he will be given that respective treatment to learn. And we told you umpteen number of times why Bhagavan Vishnu carries Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Very symbolic, very beautiful. Shankha is first, वो हमें अलर्ट करते हैं through sound, through somebody's vocal words, that what you are doing is wrong, this is what is right. When you don't listen, then he comes little closer and touches us with the Padma lotus and tells us what you are doing is wrong, this is the right way to do. At the level of touching of Padma, we go through some losses, some miseries, etc. It is from the situation to the problem state of being. Even then, when we don't sudro, then Bhagavan uses Gada Prahara. That big blow in life comes. It's like a crisis sort of thing. Big blow. Anywhere. That the most dearest friend only may leave you and go. Because you are so dominant, so arrogant, so much humiliating that fellow, insulting, taking him for granted. उसने 2 बार कहा 3 बार कहा, you have not heard. Then he says goodbye to you. Even the wife, secretly she is consulting her parents and everybody that ये ऐसे हैं वैसे हैं. They say चलो चलो कोई क्या करे, अभी इंडियन सिस्टम है, शादी किया है, रहो रहो. वो 5 साल 6 साल रहेगी and these fellow drinking this that never changed only. Situation से problem से crisis में हो गया. Then one day then with the parents help she will ask for the divorce or complaint there in the cell. See the life gone, no? Miserable हो गया. That's called as crisis. That's called as Bhagwan's Gada Prahara. And same in the business, etc. Key, we were alerted by some people, but still we continued doing either adulteration in the products we produce or some hera-fairy during transactions. Suddenly, we have not heard the hints given by others. Suddenly, वो फिर वो पता चल जाता है सरकार को. Then the anti-corruption bureaus and all of them come. Then पूरी बेइज्जती, isn't it? With all his crores of money in the bank, with all the things, हाथ में हथकड़ी, then he is behind the bars. That is called Gada Prahar. In the case of health also, the Prahara. You know, a big problem that you are admitted 2 months in the hospital or some stroke, कुछ ना कुछ होता है. ये भगवान का गदा प्रहार. अब वो भी नहीं सुना तो फाइनली इज चक्र. बस दिस लाइफ is over of you. All opportunities given, you never use them. Now भगवान चक्र से finish करके he will demote us to the lower level of life. So that's how he carries all the four. So these are the six things: ignorance, mistake, suffering, learning, rectifying, and being happy. Same is there are the six things within ourselves also, while maintaining our deha, indriya, prana, mana, buddhi, mukhya rupena manaha. See, today we studied that mantra, example of Shakuni, the bird. Shakuni means bird. It is tied with a rope at one end and given freedom. यो इधर उधर घूम के फिर that rope to whichever the khamba pillar it is tied, it will have to land there only. So to our mind goes to the whole world, gets kicked left and right. Finally, it has to come to its own source, the Paramatma. That was the example. That's it. By the way, that word example, I was always remembering this. When you have any cows, buffaloes, dogs, why tie half a meter a rope to its neck? कम से कम 5 मीटर तो रखो ना rope so that it can have little freedom to move. Why tied to that particular thing and which are it has no freedom at all? I always fear when we also I become any animal pashu because of something done wrong, I'll be tied down like that only without freedom. कोई पंछी को पिंजरे में डाल दिए, कोई पशु को रस्सी से बांध के रखा, and go and see the zoological park. The birds which have got by one way blessings, the wings to fly high in the sky, बड़े छोटे पिंजरे में बांध के रखते, उसको अब हिले का नहीं जिंदगी भर. The lions and tigers, the kings of the jungle they are, but कहाँ है? Tied down here only in time when they give food they eat, otherwise no. देखो, देखने से ना जगत में सीखने को बहुत मिलता है. Anyway, so inside also at our body level we told you already the example of the health. At the mind level, for lives together, out of ignorance, we commit mistakes and keep on suffering in our own mind. All the negative emotions, negative thoughts. You know, all the asuri guna that are said in the 16th chapter of Gita, they are the ones who should not be there. But that ignorance, that wisdom we don't have, we are ignorant. We keep on maintaining those irsha, dvesha, suya, kama, krodha. Mistakes they are all. Then they are the ones which are giving dukkha, dukkha, dukkha. Bahapare. See, when I have in my own mind all these negativities, first who is suffering? I am only suffering, no? It is only after long suffering, once maybe some Guru's grace, he becomes antarmukha, he becomes, introverted and introspective. That then he knows that, yeah, they are all my negative thoughts in my mind, negative emotions in my mind. I only am suffering because of it. When he realizes it, gets the wisdom and rectifies. Like yesterday, what a good thought we had in our common sense thought. Can we decide to be happy in spite of? That is the wisdom. If wisdom is applied, in rectifying the mistakes done, we are no more miserable. And that's the golden day in our life where we focus on ourselves and rectify all our mistakes with wisdom so that we don't suffer within ourselves. Why should I suffer at my intellectual level with bankruptcy of knowledge? Why can't we study books, listen to masters, continuously contemplate, and go on gaining the jnanam in the buddhi? So why should I suffer with my minds rajoguna and tamoguna? मेरा ही मन है ना, ठीक करो ना उसको, ले जाओ सत्व गुण में, है ना? Why should I destroy my own sense organs by becoming slaves to them? Why can't I save them too by putting them in check, in control? Isn't it? पता चल जाता है. As a human being, that facility comes. जैसा कहा भी, लातों का भूत बातों से नहीं मानता, तो लात दिलाकर भी सिखा देते हैं भगवान. So to my own sharira, I only am destroying it, either by too much of laziness, non-activity, inactivity, or too much of indulgence, or too much of activity. हर एक का अपना अपना हद सीमा होता है. Both सीमास, this and that side. This end is when it is not used, it slowly again unused atrophy state it goes into. The other side, if it is misused or abused, then also it is not right. है ना? आपका कार भी अगर आप यूज नहीं करोगे, आफ्टर फ्यू इयर्स दोज पार्ट्स ऑल गेट डिस्ट्रॉय. ओवर यूज करोगे तो भी प्रॉब्लम. एनीथिंग, आपके कपड़े अलमारी में रखे यूज ही नहीं कर रहे 10 साल से, वो फट जाएंगे, वो बिकॉज उसका एक्सपायरी डेट होता है ना. ओवर यूज मिस यूज कर रहे हो, प्रॉपरली वॉशिंग आयरनिंग नहीं कर रहे, देन ऑल्सो इट गेट्स डिस्ट्रॉय. Everything in this world. So in this way, inside also the ignorance, mistake, suffering, then learning, rectification, and freeing from the mistakes. This is the second thing. In the outer world, in our outer behaviors, professions, dealings with the people, responding to the happenings, these are the places, these six things. Within ourselves are Dehendra Prana Mano Buddhi, Mukhya Rupena Mana Buddhi. All of them. है ना? So many shastras are there. Pause, study them. They all tell us as to how to maintain ourselves so that we are not a liability to us. इतना छोटी बात हमको नहीं पता कि हमें अपने आप के कारण से दुखी नहीं होना. And still we claim we are intelligent. That's why intellect used for all the outer worldly knowledge and sciences, not used for understanding oneself and avoiding the mistakes and living a right life. What is the intelligence in that person? What is great about him? है ना? इतना पढ़ाई लिखाई करके इतना बड़े बड़े ऑफिसर बन के क्या सही भोजन नहीं नहीं जानता हूं मैं. एवरी डे आई ईट रॉन्ग फूड एंड सफर. डू वी कॉल हिम एज विजडम, ए वाइज पर्सन? दैट्स व्हाई वी टुक अप ऑल द थ्री इन आवर टुडेज डिस्कशन. आउटर वर्ल्ड में भी and with ourselves also. Second one. And the third naturally is spiritually also. In spirituality, the spiritual ignorance is not at all knowing that there is a spiritual reality, spiritual essence, and that alone has to be the goal. इसका पता ही नहीं, ignorance. Therefore, not at all going towards that is called mistake. And in that only there is happiness. We are not seeking it, therefore misery. Such miserable person, after long time of misery, seeing someone else or maybe clicking to himself or some Guru Krupa, Daiva Krupa or Punya Karma Phala, then he goes to Guru. That's what the beginning of our Vakya Vritti Grantha. Tapatrayarka Santaptaha. See, Kaschit Udvigna Manasaha. Samsari also is Udvigna. This person also is Udvigna. The samsara is Udvigna for the samsaric Vastu Segarana, indulgence, etc. He is Udvigna, is Sattvika Udvega. I want to have that knowledge by which I am freed from all problems once for all. See, Udvigna Manasaha. Then Shamadhi Sadhanair Yuktaha. Sadgurum paripruchati. See that one goes to the Guru. Then Guru tells the spiritual knowledge and all. Tat satyam sa atma tattvamasi shvetaketo. When that knowledge is gained, then he slowly starts practicing that knowledge that naham dehosmi, naham jivosmi, naham asmi, aham brahmasmi. When he goes on doing that very deeply, not only vocally uttering, but analyzing what is said by the Shastra regarding the self, then going beyond that analysis also, after the understanding, trying to abide in that self. When this is done, slowly, steadily it gets opened up when the self is realized. There also, Sanodadyat Brahmapyam, we pray to that reality only, reveal, reveal, reveal. One day he reveals. Thus, the spiritual bliss also we achieve. Spiritual ignorance, spiritual mistake, spiritual suffering, spiritual learning, spiritual rectification, then spiritual bliss. All human beings have to go through these only 6 plus 6 plus 6, 18. Very auspicious. Outside, in our outer world, within ourselves, and spiritually. Where do we stand in all these three states now? Think about it and aim at gaining that knowledge. About the world knowledge, kya dekhna hai? See, the three things only about the world. One, it is Ishvara Leela. Second, it is Samashti Prarabdha. Third, it is not as real as it is seen, it is Mithya. Huh? It is Samashti Prarabdha, therefore I am also part of it. I take whatever is given, I can't avoid, and I give whatever I am expected to give. In this way, the outer world we have to have the wisdom. So, to wisdom with our upadhis are, they are to be disciplined, they are to be integrated, they are to be utilized only for these purposes of outer service, inner sadhana. This is how I gain wisdom regarding my upadhis and use that wisdom and find that fulfillment. In spirituality में Siddhanta Jnana that Sarva Nama Rupa have the Adhisthana of the Tattva, and that Tattva we have to become more and more aware, more and more aware, more and more aware to such an extent that we are aparoksha rupena experiencing it. उसके लिए अपरोक्षानुभूति यत् साक्षात अपरोक्षात ब्रह्म. These are the wisdoms. May we understand these most difficult, uncommon, common sense thoughts and help ourselves. Thank you. Friends, today in our third aspect of Mantrocharana, yesterday we saw Shiva. Today we will do Ganapati Bhagavan. The Ganapati Gayatri. Okay. This Ganapati Gayatri in Mahanarayana Upanishad, it is said in one way. In the Ganapatyatarvashesha Upanishad, little difference. Only one word. In the Mahanarayana, it is said, Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantihi Prachodayat. In the Mahanarayana, in the Ganapatyatarva, instead of Tat Purushaya, Maha Ekadantaya. Okay. Baki sab same. So we do the Tatpurushaya Vala in our class. Ekadantaya also you do it. Why Tatpurushaya? Why not Ekadantaya means in that Ekadantaya Vidmahe, that Ekadanta word comes twice. Like Ekadantaya Vidmahe, Vakratundaya Dhimahi, again Tanno Dantihi Prachodaya. So here instead of Ekadanta, we say Tatpurusha. Then Tanno Danti anyway is there. That also remains. That's how it's our choice. Right? Now the mantra is Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Vakra Tundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. So Vidmahe Dhimahi Prachodayat. What is Vidmahe? We recognize the presence of that Lord with all his omnipotency, omnisciency, omnipresence. है ना? That's called as Tat Purushaya Vidmahe. We know him, all his glories, greatness, powers. Then in that Vakratundaya Dhimahi, we mind his glory and we acknowledge it and we do all the due uh, worships to him in both ways. One worship is doing exactly what he tells us to do. Second worship is, as told in our Purana Itihasa, the puja of him, the Shodashopachara Adi. And also, we always, in our mind intellect, keep him as supreme. We are never away from him. We are in our utter, totally surrendered devotion to him. That's called as Dhimahi. मतलब ध्यान पूर्वक, भक्ति पूर्वक, उपासना पूर्वक, सेवा पूर्वक, धर्म पूर्वक, शरणागति. All of that are called as Dhimahi. Is one word used Dhimahi means we meditate on. So meditation is the highest. Before that meditation, you recognize him, you put his photo or picture or idol in your room, you do the upasana, you do the bhajana, the kirtana. Slowly you reach to the level of dhyana. Dhimahi. धी मीन्स बुद्धि. धीमहि मीन्स हम उनको अपने बुद्धि में हमेशा रखते हैं. We are convinced about his presence, his glory, his need in our life, and how to invoke his blessings. Then Tanno Dantihi Prachodayat means may he do the blessings of Prachodanam of our entire personality only towards reality. Isn't it? हमें प्रचोदन करो हमारा देहेंद्र प्राण मनोबुद्धि. Let all of them be utilized only in realizing the self. Like in Bhakti Marga, the great bhaktas like Prahlada, they all say the tongue is given by the Lord for taking his name only. Otherwise, it is like the words of a frog only. The ears are given to listen to the Lord's glory. If not, they are the places for the snakes to stay there. You know, the hands are given for worshipping the Lord. If not, they are like the hands of a dead body only. Shavakarau, he uses that word. The legs are given to go to the temple and do pradakshina. If not, it is better to be like a tree without legs to move anywhere. In the Bhakti Marga, that's what they say there. Same thing here in the Vedanta, prachodayat. By asking him, we are praying to the Lord that let my entire personality's layers tend towards reality. Take me towards reality. In this, finally, the buddhi is the most important one, which through the Shravana, Manana, Chintana, Nididhyasana, while recognizing all pervading Paramatma Tattva, it merges in that Paramatma, taking us also along with, wherein we experience that Tattvamasi as Aham Brahmas. May this happen. That's the meaning of Nahadiya Prachodayat. At a lower level, may our buddhis be always with right wisdom, as we just now saw in the common sense thought, so that we are able to maintain our life within ourselves in a decent manner, and our life outside too is acceptable and joyful for us and to the world. That's the meaning of the prachodhanam of our dhi at the lower level. और the prachodhanam of us. Here dhi ka शब्द तो नहीं है ना, दंति प्रचोदयात बस. Now one or two words that have to be understood in this shloka is tat purushaya. Tat purusha means what? Paramatma is, Ganapati is the tat named Parabrahma only of the Upanishads. We have no doubt about it. Vidmahe explained. Then Vakratundaya, the one who is God, that twisted, tilted trunk. Vakratundaya. You know, तुंड वक्र रूप में है और फ्लेक्सिबल है. He uses it to for various purposes. Dhimahi, we meditate on him. Tanno Dantihi, the one who is single tusked one. I know Ganapati Bhagwan, one tusk he uses to remove or kill an Gajasura or somebody, Mushikasura, they say. So in this way, Tat Purushaya Vidmahe, Vakratundaya Dhimahi, Tanno Danti Prachodayat is the most powerful Vinayaka or Ganesha Gayatri. And yesterday only, you know, We saw or day before in Skanda Purana that very interesting story. It was very surprising only that Parvati created Ganapati to create all vignas only. It was required that time. Very funny story it was. So Vigna Vinayaka. And it is said towards the later part that Prabhasa Kshetra of Ganapati, when not worshipped, you will put all vignas. There is that beautiful Prabhasa Kshetra mein, mm, mm, that great Shiva Mandir is there. And all the people of the earth are doing his puja upasana so much that all of them are going to Swarga. And Indra Bhagavan is worried. Devatas are worried. There's no place for us to stay. And the other side, Yamaraj is worried कि nobody is coming to Narak. Because सब भगवान के भक्त बन गए. पूरे खाली खाली हो गया नरक. He also, both of them, Indra and Yama, both together come to Lord Shiva and Jagan Mata. जग शिव के पास क्या है प्रॉब्लम है ऐसा वो कहते हम खाली है ये कहते भर रहा है isn't it what to do like yesterday's news in last 1 year some lakhs of Indians have gone to other countries these many lakhs have got the green cards to settle there they don't want to stay in this punya bhumi bharat mata I said what nonsense you use those who don't deserve they anyway go भारत माता में जो बहुत पुण्य करने वाले तो जन्म लेते ही है so anyway then Shiva tells Parvati ji then she makes Ganapati and Ganapati is the one who is going on doing obstacles to the people who are doing Shiva Upasana, Shiva Puja, etc. Because of which now they are not going to Swarga and they are committing some mistakes and therefore they are going to Narak. Very interesting story it was. Very unique. कि लोग स्वर्ग में जा रहे हैं तो इंद्र परेशान हो गए तो nobody is going to नरक यमराज परेशान everybody is unemployed there the yamadutas ऑफ सीजन में जो होता है ना इफ यू गो टू दिस चार धाम प्लेसेस ड्यूरिंग ऑफ सीजन वो कंपटीशन होता है वो 100 रुपए 200 रुपए कम करके दे आर रेडी टू टेक अस दे इवन घोड़े वाले भी कंपेयर करके है ना खच्चर घोड़े एक एक 100 200 कम व्हेन यू गो ऑन द सीजन टाइम वहां फिर वो बोली होता है वी आर सोल्ड देयर है ना ऑक्शन होता है हमारा वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग So this Ganapati is the one to remove the vignas and many other things we have already seen in our chanting of different mantras. Last week only we saw that Ajam Nirvikalpam Ityadi too. Now let us chant this mantra 12 times, remembering Ganapati, worshipping him and praying to him that give us such buddhi and vyakti upadhis that only the truth we pursue. Enough of all this samsara. Nobody is telling us, but we only are becoming samsari. Nobody can tell us. We only have to decide to become spiritual. Having become, when we pray to Ganapati, he will bless us by removing outer and inner vigna. Start. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantihi Prachodayat. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantih Prachodayat. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantih Prachodayat. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantih प्रचोदयात् ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात् ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्। 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 ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं ग्लौं गङ्गणपतये वरवरद सर्वजनं मे वशमानय स्वाहा। ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः. In that story, Ganapati was now, whoever are doing worship of the Lord, by giving them wealth, by giving them bhoga, by making them friends with each other, by making them attached to each other. This is how he created Vignas. Now the people are not single pointedly worshipping the Lord, therefore they are not reaching to the heavens. And in all these attachments, definitely the adharma papa will be done. Then they were again taken to Naraka. So in our life also, feel that feeling that the Lord only sending inner and outer obstacles because we are not worshipping Him. Let us worship Him. Ask Him, Lord, Mamevaya prapadyanti mayamitam taranti. Remove all that maya of doing mistakes. And what are the mistakes? Everything is a mistake where we are not pursuing the reality. That's it. Simple. स्वामी जी मिस्टेक क्या है, अधर्म क्या है, पाप है, क्या है? एक ही है, परमात्मा को छोड़कर कुछ भी करो, दैट इज पाप. Only three things we have to do. Do sadhana to reach Paramatma, and tell others to reach Paramatma. Only these three. Anything other than that is झूठ है, वही पाप है. To this refined, matured understanding we have to come to as a result of listening to our Shastras and doing Mananam Chintanam. Then only we ourselves, first of all, dedicatedly walk toward the ultimate goal and reach out. First, we have to redeem ourselves. Okay, thank you. Now, the Upanishad. Om, 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वम् ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यम् ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानाम् ओम श्रुतिस्मृति पुराणानाम् ओम जगतीमवितुं करिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामः सच्चरतः अहिमां श्रीवात्र विभासि गुरो भव शंकर देशिक मे शरणम्. ओम ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलम् अचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिकैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसम्प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थं कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आद्यशङ्कर भाष्यसमेत अध्ययनसाधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहं। पारायणम् अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः 456। ॐ तमेकनेमिं त्रिवृतं षोडशान्तं शतार्धारं विंशतिप्रत्यराभिः अष्टकैः षड्भिर्विश्वरूपैकपाशं त्रिमार्गभेदं द्विनिमित्तैकमोहम् पञ्चस्रोतोऽम्बुं पञ्चयोन्युग्रवक्रां पञ्चप्राणोर्मिं पञ्चबुद्ध्यादिमूलां पञ्चावर्तां पञ्चदुःखौघवेगां पञ्चाशद्भेदां पञ्चपर्वाम् अधीमः। सर्वाजीवे सर्वसंस्थे बृहन्ते अस्मिन् हंसो भ्राम्यते ब्रह्मचक्रे पृथगात्मानं प्रेरितारं च मत्वा जुष्टस्ततस्तेन अमृतत्वमेति। Parayana of Upanishad done. In the study, the 10th mantra of the 6th chapter. Sambandha Bhashya was, before the Sambandha Bhashya, the title was Brahma Sayujya ke liye Parameshwar se Prarthana. Unambiguous, very clear. To the Parameshwara, only one Prarthana we have to do for us to realize our oneness with that Brahman. Have we become clear in this understanding, in this acceptance? Is our mind molded in this direction all the time? Or still we have forgetfulness about this? Still we have more and more value, importance, remembrance of the world, and are still seeking the world? Oh, unfortunate. Even after listening to Shastras, Upanishads, you are still seeking the Mithya Jagat. Are bechara. Oh, if those who don't get a chance to listen to Upanishads are unfortunate, even after listening to Upanishads, if somebody is seeking anything other than Upanishad Vedi Brahma Tattva, he is most unfortunate, doubly unfortunate. But in his case, it is by his own choice, by his own mistake. है ना? तत्व शास्त्र पढ़कर भी तत्व के अलावा और कुछ है और वो लक्ष्य के रूप में लिया जा रहा है। ओहो, बड़ो महती विनष्ट। लाइक इन केन उपनिषद यह चेदवेदीत अथ सत्यमस्त। If while living in this human body, if you realize the self, अथ सत्यमस्ति, there is a fulfillment of a human life. न चेद यह अवेदित, if you have not seen the Paramatma, realize Paramatma, Mahati Vinashti, oh, the biggest loss. This loss is what? By not pursuing spirituality, any of the other Dukrum Karane, whichever we have done, it becomes the Karma Phala, as we saw in Yoga Darshanam and all. It gives us Prarabdha and it creates so much of Vasana and it thickens our ignorance. So that's called Mahati Vinasht. More away we are taken from the Paramatma. So, Brahma Sahajya ke liye. Brahma Sahajya means discovering our oneness with the Brahman. Okay? Whenever such things told and we want to clearly understand, always remember these famous examples that are given in our Shastras. 2 days back only, I think we saw in Leela Upakyanan too. The examples are river merging in the ocean or water merging in the water, all, or fire merging in the fire, or oil merging in the oil, or when the walls are broken, the inner space discovering its oneness with the total space. These are the examples. When we say Brahma Sahijam means that I am dissolving all my Upadhi and Upadhyukta conditioning. Now I am Nirupadhika, unconditional, infinite being. Remember those examples, it keeps on giving us that idea of what Upanishad is telling us to seek ultimately. Huh? This only the Upanishad has that audacity to tell us, relinquish, give up all the upadhi and limitation and discover your Nirubadhika, unlimited being. Ah, see that? हिम्मत है और किसी दूसरे को ये बात के only Upanishad has that day. And we are unfortunate in such a way. Other than Upanishad, everything we study, everything we follow, which is making us live a conditioned life. Ah, wow. सो ब्रह्म सायुज्य के लिए परमेश्वर से प्रार्थना. ओके, नौ संबंध भाष्य. इदानीम मंत्र दृक् अभिप्रेतम अर्थम प्रार्थयते. इदानीम मीन्स इन दिस मंत्र दृक् मीन्स द sadhaka who has understood through the mantra that the Paramatma alone is real, he alone has to be realized, then only moksha. He is called here mantra druk sadhaka. Abhipretam artham. After convinced about the reality through study of Shastras, so beautifully explained by the Guru with all logics, etc., he does the prarthana. The deep longing in him, want in him is only for that, Parabrahma Parapti. And that how he does prarthana, Shruti Mata is showing here. So his Abhipretam artham. His artham is now Chaturtha Purushartham, moksha by knowing the self. Here the Shruti Mata is depicting here how to do the prarthana. Okay. Mantra drug abhipretamartham prarthayate. Okay. Okay. Great mantra. Can be again by hearted. Chanted Om yastantu nabha iva tantu bihi. Om yastantu nabha iva tantu bihi. Pradhanajaihi svabhavatah. Pradhanajaihi svabhavatah. देव एकः स्वमावृणोत् देव एकः स्वमावृणोत् सनो ददात् ब्रह्माप्ययम् सनो दधात् ब्रह्माप्ययम्. अगेन ओम यस्तन्तु नाभ इव तन्तुभिः प्रधानजैः स्वभावतः देव एकः समावृणोत् सनो दधात् ब्रह्माप्ययम्. So the tantu nabhi, spider, tantu bihi, with the web which it brings from itself only, अपने अंदर से, अपने शरीर से, projects outside, makes that web, and it gets conditioned by it only. It gets limited by it only. वो भी बेचारा ऐसे बनाकर एक कॉर्नर में छुपा हुआ देखता रहता है, कोई कीड़ा मकोड़ा आकर इस स्टिकी स्टिकी चीज में आकर फंस जाए, then I can go and eat. है ना? In the small makdi case, you may be very difficult to see, but you see in some of these animal related TV channels, the big इतने बड़े मकड़े भी बड़े बड़े घने जंगलों में, you can see very thick web they make, and big insects, they come and they get stuck, it goes and eats. दिखेगा आपको. That is the example. In the same way, having given the example, what is said here, ki wonderful thought. See, Swabhav, I am explaining this sentence now. Pradhanajaihi swabhavataha devaha ekaha samavrunotu. So first word is swabhavataha samjo. Swabhavata means by nature. Who is he? Devaha and ekaha. He is pure consciousness and is one without second.
It is his Swabhava. And such him, again Swabhavajaha, Swabhavataha, because of his own choice only. Here, the Swabhavatam is by choice only. What is he doing? Pradhana Jayihi. Pradhana is Mula Prakriti. Ana? Pradhana means Prakriti. In that Pradhana, the three gunas. From the three gunas, the entire world is projected. The Tamoguna say grossness projected, the Rajoguna say all the subtle instruments are projected. Through the Sattva the various Devata Ganas are projected. And he enters into them, gets active, makes them activated. So here, same thing. Swabhavataha Deva Ekaha. By nature is a one pure conscious infinite self. Such he himself, Swabhavatah again, by his own choice, Pradhana Jaihi, by the entire world projected by the Pradhana, the Prakriti, what is he doing? Some avrunoto, he is covering himself. Example is, Yah Tantunabaha Tantubihi Swam Avrunot. Iva. Like the spider by the tantus project produced out of itself, Avrunot, it covers itself. So to here this Paramatma also, from his own Mula Prakriti, he has projected the whole world and he is covering with that projected world himself. Now he is cocooned in it, he is conditioned in it. He is called as Jiva. Any Jiva it is. One Paramatma only. In so many webs he is making and he is Avrunot. You understood? Every insect is nothing but Brahman conditioned in the Upadis. When we talk about insect only, what to talk about all other human beings and all. So yaha tantunavaha iva tantubihi pradhanajaihi swabhavatah devah ekah sam avranot. So to that Lord we are requesting. What is it? Saha, that Parabrahma, Naha, for all of us, Dadhat, bestow upon us, give us Brahma Apyayam. So, Dadat means may he give us Brahma Apyayam. Apyayam means merger, Brahma means with Brahman. May he bless us with our merger with Brahman, our discovery of oneness with Brahman. May he bless us. Example, the river in the ocean, water in the water, space in space, etc. So, Sano Dadhat Brahma Payam. See, a new sentence we got for our prayer. So, any mantra you can say, Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Kode Samaprabha Sano Dadhyat Brahma Payam. Then Sarasya Namastubhya Varde Kamarupani Vidyarambam Karishyami Sano Dadhyat Brahma Payam. Brahma Payam means Brahma Prapti. Brahma se ek hona. Dadhat means may he give us. Such Lord gave us the oneness with the Brahman Anubhuti. I am now fed up of being with the upadhis, always limitations and always fears, and ending in only ending, that is dying only. इतना जिंदगी जी जी के फाइनली मृत्यु ही है यार और उसका भय और उससे पहले बुढ़ापा all of them are because we are thinking ourselves jiva with the upadhis. If I am realizing myself oneness with the Brahman, there are no upadhis, there is no janma jara roga mrityu. ये बेसिक दुख है यार इसको पहले दूर करो. You understand? Our worries about the money, about the friends, about our position outside, they are not big problems. The bigger problems are these. And the birth, death, in between the modifications, the disease, decay, old age. They are the silently torturing things in our life. We have to be freed from them. And only way is Brahmapyam, our achievement of oneness with the Brahman. So this Apyam word was the one which we chanted in the eighth mantra also, eighth khanda also in our Chandogya today, sixth chapter. Apiti iti prapnoti. है ना? Brahmapyam. Apyam, another also meaning is may it become conducive for. Like in the Kena Upanishad Shanti Mantra, it starts with this word. Apyayantu mama angani. Let my all limbs be trained, made convenient for pursuing the Brahmajnana. That's called apyayantu mama angani. Which are they? Vak prana, chakshu shrotra, matobalam, indriyani sarvani. With that well nurtured, nourished upadhis, what will you do? As we saw again in common sense thought about our own personality. You know? Hmm. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. Everything is Upanishadic Brahma. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam, Mama Brahma Nirakarot. Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam me astu. Tadatminirte Upanishats Dharma Te mai santu. With all these faculties, what sadhanas that are indicated in the Upadhi, that we will do so that the Upanishad said Brahman we reach. What sadhana said by the Upanishad to be done at the Upadhi level, we do to reach to the Brahman, the goal of Upanishad. That's the mantra there. So here also, Sanodadhat Brahma Pem. Now, this sentence is this. Now, to that, you add your mirch masala to make it beautiful. You know, what is that mirch masala we can understand? And is that, may I become Shuddha Sattva Guni, may I become filled with this sadhana chatushtaya sampada, may get an opportunity to be received and given shelter by the Brahmanishta Shrotriya Guru. May I recognize his glory. May I serve him, surrender to him. May he be pleased with me. And may he teach me that Tattvasi Mahavakya Upadesha. May I be able to contemplate on that. Because this is the only way to know the reality. Then through the contemplation on the Tattvamasi Padas, I reach to the Vakyartha, that also not Vachyartha, but the Lakshyartha. That finally should take me to Aham Brahmasmi Anubhuti. That is the meaning of Dadat Brahmapye में ये सब आप ऐड करो क्योंकि according to Shastras, the Brahma Anubhava comes after going to the Guru, listening from him the Mahavakya, then contemplating on it. But before going to the Guru, we have to be qualified to go to the Guru. For that, these Viveka Vairagya, the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampada, Shuddha Sattva Guna, all of them are required. All of them you can include in Sanodadat Brahmapya. And that's why we always say in our all classes, Sankalpas also, O Lord, first give me the yogyatas, then make me do the sadhanas, then give me the result. And through Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, we get the yogyata of Antakarna Shuddhi. Through Jnana Yoga, Siddhanta, we get the knowledge. And in that only, through meditation, we realize the self and get moksha. So yogyata, sadhana, anubhuti. All of them called as Dadat Brahma Apyam. Brahma Prapti, may he bless me with. That's the meaning. Okay, just 1 minute. We'll chant the Bhashyam. Let us see it tomorrow. Yaha Tantunabha iti. I am explaining to you the mantra starting with the word Yaha Tantunabha. Now, Bhagavan Adi Shankara's Bhashyam. Yatha, just like Urnanavihi. Tantunavi is Urnanavi, that is spider. Ki Atma Prabhavaihi Tantubihi. With the threads and strings which are born out of its own body. Atmanam eva itself samyak avrunoti covers itself. It gets tied down by, cocooned by, bound by its own threads which are born out of its own self. So, yatha urnanavihi atma prabhavaihi tantuvihi atmanameva samavrunoti. Example. Tatha, in the same way, pradhana jaihi. Pradhana jaihi is the word of the mantra. What is the bhashya for that? Avyakta prabhavaihi. So pradhana means avyakta. Jaihi means prabhavaihi. What are the things which are prabhava produced out of this avyakta? Nama, rupa, karma bihi. Nama rupa is the upadhis. Identified with them, feeling the limitation, to free from limitation to get into the finite infinitude. Whatever seen in front of us, we think because of the lack of that, we are finite. When we get that, we become infinite. That feeling happens inside us. That's called as kamana. And once the kamana comes, we do the karma. That's why here nama rupa karma bihi. When he said We have to add the in between, the black blocks we have to fill up, blanks we have to fill up. So Nama Rupa means Upaditadatmya, that gives me limitation. I can't be happy with limitation. I want to be unlimited and infinite. And for that, these things which are there, when I get them, I become complete. With that thought, we have a desire. Then to fulfill the desire, we do karma. And karma gives karma phala of kicking us to various shariras. So that's how uh, pradhana jaihi means avyakta prabhavaihi tantubihi. What are the tantus? These are the nama, rupa, karma bihi tantusthaniyaihi. What are the tantus? The threads, like in the case of spider with which it gets bound, created by its own self. In case of all of us, the tantus are the nama, rupa, karma. They are the threads, they are the ropes, they are the strings, they are the bands binding things. So tantubihi, tantusthaniyaihi, namarupa karmabihi tantusthaniyaihi, swamatmanam avrunotu. He has covered his own real self. What does he mean by avrunotu? Sanchaditavan. Avrunotu, uh, mm, sanchaditavan. Samyak achaditavan. Saha. That Paramatma, Naha, to all of us, Mahyam to me, Brahmani apyayam Brahmapyayam. What do you mean by Brahmapyayam? Brahmani apyayam. Brahmani means into the Brahman. Apyaya means entry. Means what? Eki bhavam dadhatu. The oneness with that Brahman, may I be blessed with. Dadhatu ityartaha. So this is the meaning. This will be little more explained tomorrow. With Bhashya, it is always little higher and deeper and subtler. So it is like a talking to myself. I am Brahman with my own Maya Shakti. I projected upadhis, now conditioned in that I am now suffering like a jiva. Oh jiva, you get rid of your upadhis and realize your own oneness with Brahman, isn't it? At a later stage, the same prayer goes to this level. In the prayer, it becomes a commitment now, a conviction. I know more now, going to involve in the world with the upadhis to make myself more and more stronger jiva. I now pursue consciously, exclusively only Brahma Tattva. So this is the Upanishad class. This is the subject that is taught, that I have heard, understood. Now this is where I am throughout the day in my Dhyana Mandira or Puja Mandira or my Sadhana Mandira, wherever at home I made it. So here I am conscious. Lee, taking these mantras, doing manana chintana, rejecting my identity with the upadhis and establishing my identity with the Paramatma Tattva. If this we are doing, that means this prayer is answered. That Sanodadat Brahmapyam is a prayer. Like when I pray for the money, when the money comes, the prayer is answered. So too when I am praying for Brahmapyam Dadyat, if these things happen, that means the prayers are answered. So if I'm not pursuing Paramatma Tattva throughout the day, the meaning is I'm not blessed. Why I'm not blessed? Because I never prayed. What prayer? Sanodadat Brahmapyam. If you pray, then we will be blessed. When we are blessed, we get that. है ना? इसलिए ना बड़े संत महात्मा जो सूक्ष्म ग्राही होते हैं, they won't discuss much with us, listening to all our nonsensical questions, discussions, justifications, arguments. बकवास है सब उनको. वो इतना ही कहते, यू डोंट वांट परमात्मा, दैट्स ऑल. व्हाई आर यू नाटक कर रहे हो मेरे को? स्वामी जी, बच्चों को देखना है, पोतों को देखना है, तोतों को देखना है, रोतों को देखना है, गधों को देखना है. बकवास मत बोल. यू डोंट वांट परमात्मा, दैट्स ऑल. व्हाई टॉक नॉनसेंस? एवरीथिंग इज नॉनसेंस. क्राइंग देन, महाराज मेरा पोल तो खुल गया. अभी करो क्या? मैं करूँ क्या फिर? यू जस्ट डिजायर परमात्मा, दैट्स इट. दिल से. Isn't it? That is the beauty, the one who never wants Paramatma. When such people go to the Guru, Guru runs away. And when somebody want Paramatma, Guru himself ढूंढ कर उनके पास आते. And the one who doesn't want Paramatma, if the Guru goes towards that fellow, he runs away. नहीं गुरु, अभी मेरे को परमात्मा ब्रह्मा पीएम नहीं चाहिए. I see my neighbor has got that I want, and the other cousin has got this that I want. I am busy in these pursuits. अब देखो दुनिया में एंड पुराण, so many characters living so many realms of lives. Do you want to go through all of them? Then pray for them, work for them. But all of them are endful. याद रखो. Simple common sense होना है उसको देखकर. Nothing I want. I want only you. That's what Nachiketa state of mind. वरस्तु में वर्णीय स एव. Why ask for limited temporary conditioning binding? है ना? That's why Shubhecha is सबसे important. We are studying our Upanishads daily only to create and strengthen that Shubhecha, in the flood of which all the Ashubha Ichhas go away. After that Ichha, then Prarthana. With the Prarthana, the conveniences come as blessings. Use those conveniences to do sadhana and fulfill your Ichha of Brahma Prapti. Thank you. From few more thoughts, we'll see it and enter into the next mantra, in which again Paramatma Swarupa is taught to us Nirdeshita. The very famous quoted mantras from these Upanishads. They are found also in Katha Upanishad and other Upanishads also. This is how one by one shloka will do. Come to the end of this Upanishad, then let us see. चांदोग्य इसके बाद लगाना पड़ेगा. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you. Study Gita.